I wanted to share with you my story to help you understand what motivates me and why I'm so passionate about getting rid of workplace stress. Now, this story is 100% true, and so far I've only shared it with a few people, but I believe by sharing this with you today I'm going to be able to help empower you and show you there is light at the end of the tunnel. I also want you to know that no matter how dark things seem, you are never alone. I would be grateful if you stayed until the end and shared with me any comments you have about my story below. I'd love to hear about your own stories and how you overcame your own battles with something which can lead to very serious physical and mental health difficulties. In the description below and at the end of the video, you'll also get a link to our ultimate stress test, which is free to take. We'll also give you a free stress report and a free e-poster with some stress busting tips. So my story, here goes. Back in 2004, I was lucky enough to be working for a very well-known fashion retailer as a manager, absolutely loving my job. There were a few problems in another store, and so I was sent over to help. Even on my first day in this store, I knew it was going to be hard work. The staff had been working under very bad managers and were completely demoralised. Luckily, those managers had been removed, and myself and 3 other managers from across the Midlands had been drafted in to turn the store around. Now, as anyone who's worked in retail can attest, good managers are really hard to come by, and unfortunately 2 of the new managers were not that great. Even worse, they were in more senior positions than myself and the other really good manager. While the department, staff and the store was slowly being rebuilt thanks to the tireless work by myself and the other junior manager, our own mental well-being was taking a serious knock. We would work non-stop from the minute we walked in, often staying far beyond the time we needed to, skipping breaks and lunches almost every day, just to support the guys on the front line. The other 2 managers, well, who knows what they were doing? I can honestly say, even to this day, I could not tell you what they were getting paid to do. A store which needed 4 managers was being run by 2. Now, don't get me wrong, me and my colleague were doing an amazing job. Profits were up, absenteeism was down, and the whole atmosphere in the store was great, except when it came down to how we were feeling. We could have spoken to the area manager, I hear you say. Well, there was a problem with that. The store and deputy managers were great friends, and the area manager used to play golf with the deputy manager every fortnight. The visits were always conveniently arranged for days I was not in, or my shifts were swapped last minute. Although my colleague was fab at her job, she wasn't as confident as me and would never say anything. It would always come down to my word against theirs. As I'm sure you can predict, she couldn't cope, and after 3 months she left. Then there was only 1 manager running the store. I lasted another 6 weeks. I was driving down the motorway and all of a sudden I thought to myself, I could just turn the wheel and end it. It wouldn't matter and everything would be over. I was conscious that I didn't want to hurt anyone else, so I'd have to be careful about how I did this. Now, these thoughts were going around my head, and I even started to look around and trying to plan it, and then it hit me. I don't want this. I am worth more than this. No job is going to make me end it. I was only 22. I pulled off at the next services, stopped the car and phoned my old manager in tears. The thought of carrying on my journey was making me feel physically sick. I couldn't even dial the store to phone in. I'd have to speak to one of those managers, and that thought terrified me. I was lucky. My old manager rang for me and I transferred back to my old store and applied for another job in a different company. I have never looked back. After that day, I vowed never to let a job make me feel that way. I also promised myself I would become a store manager and prove that by being a decent human being, you can have an extremely profitable store. I used this experience to make me stronger. I studied the policies and handbooks of every position since, and even though since then I had worked for countless bad managers, I've had them dismissed. Managers I worked for have been done for fraud, stealing, bullying and a whole host of pretty nasty things. Now, unfortunately, this happens routinely, and not everybody gets the chance to stand up and tell somebody about it. Now, I continued to work hard and I became a store manager. I also turned the store I took over into the most profitable against the previous year and against the targets. Now all this happened while we were still heavily in recession, and the goods we were selling were designer, so not so cheap. Yes, I'm still quite young, but age has nothing to do with how good you are at leading a team of people to success. Working hard and spending time cultivating quality relationships is the key to achieving a self-motivated and productive workforce. My teams were always happy and would do anything for me. So much so that when I left one particular store, within 6 weeks, 75% of my team handed in their notice and walked away. Now my pretty extreme situation has led me to where I am today, and if I didn't have my family and my partner supporting me back then, I honestly don't know what would have happened. Now there are a lot of people out there right now who are seriously struggling because of the way they're being treated in the workplace, and it's just not on. It's also illegal. So this is my promise to all of you bad managers out there. I am coming for you. If you don't change, then chances are the law will be quick on your heels as well. So this is therefore my plea. If your workplace feels bad, and you are going to be able to tell, please do something about the way you're conducting yourself. If you don't get on with your team or spend your whole day hiding away in your office, then chances are you will be causing someone undue stress. So for all of those who are like my previous self and are suffering under a not so great manager, here's the link to the ultimate stress test, and once you've filled everything in, we will send you your stress report and your free stress busting e-poster, which is going to help you keep some of those pressures at bay. Now before you head off, please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave any comments below. I look forward to hearing your story and engaging in a conversation. Thank you for listening.